Hi Dave, the match has just started, Wales against Scotland. We've been handing out these leaflets for againstVaccinePassports.com, really campaigning for Scotland, but really shocking. Everyone doesn't care. They're quite happy to use a COVID pass. They've no interest in what we're doing. They just literally want to enjoy themselves. What's your reaction to how people have been taking the againstVaccinePassports.com leaflet? You know, we didn't have to come today. We
didn't have to come
I don't know. People seem to like to be tagged. They seem to like have to use their health information to get into a rugby match.
Well, it seems like, Anna, actually, that they just kind of head down, they're in, they want to get into the game, but they don't mind. They've done either lateral flow or they've got the COVID pass, and they're just going in. And even if we're saying, do you want to support Scotland because they haven't got rid of vaccine passports, they're not really interested, as you said, Anna. They just want to get into the game, and that's it. Couldn't care.
I disagree. I disagree. When asked, they said, I asked them, do you want another one? And they say no. They don't want another one. But that might not be their choice.
The impression I got is people just want to have fun today,
yes,
and they want to forget.
Yes.
They want to forget everything that's happened over the last 2 years. But what I'm concerned about is that we have to record history here. There was an attempt by the government to tag us, to turn us into QR codes, and they have no interest in fighting against that.
Well, yeah, of course, we've had that somewhat shock decision, if you like, by Mark Drayford to say end of next week they will finish. They're still in operation here in Wales. But for me, it was a sense we've got Wales and Scotland to sort out, get rid of vaccine passports. But even the very few Scots people here, I think, are just committed, well, we're coming to the game, I've got my vaccine passport, I'm going in, and it's worrying.
There's two things here. I think we need to move on. Let's have a laugh, okay? Let's really just take some time out, have fun, forget the last 2 years. But there's another issue here, a very important issue, and that's what the government tried or attempted to do. And that's about labelling our health decisions to dominate what we do. It doesn't matter about whether it's vaccination. It could be you eat too many burgers. It's the government tried to dictate our movements based on our health decisions, and no one seems to care.
No, that's true. It's, as I said, you know, they've done what they had to do. There's many people here today that said, well, I did what I had to do, and my vaccinations, I can get in the game now. And I think we spoke to one lad who just said, actually, I only did it because I wanted to get into the game.
You came from Birmingham today. You live in Bourneville. Why did you come to Cardiff?
Well, I mentioned before, actually, Cardiff is a special place for me because of Wolves and coming to I still call it the Millennium Stadium here behind me. And I love this area, actually. And my dad is Welsh. So actually, and I have a Welsh middle name, so actually Wales is important. So actually it was just to be with the people and just to connect with them, have some conversations and to find out what's going on.
And what do you think's going on?
Well, at the moment all I'm seeing is people going in and not really wanting to engage or chat. Will they be different after the game? I don't know.
Will Drakeford get back in again? Do they like Drakeford? Do they like this new world, this new government where we need a mobile phone to go to a pub, theatre, cinema, etc., and to a match? They seem to be quite happy about it, Dave.
Well, you know, talking about mobile phone, I know my own dad, he had only got a basic phone. He can't have all the QR codes on. I mean, thankfully he's in England, but I don't know what he'd do here in Wales. He wouldn't be able to get in and watch his Welsh team play rugby because he hasn't got the technology and doesn't want to have it.
The vibe on the street, though, is the COVID pass is welcome. People in Cardiff don't care. And when you are fighting for democracy and freedom and for people to not be tagged for their health choices, if they don't want it, I think we should pull away. If they don't want us to create a community where they are free, why would we create a community where they are free?
Well, I think there's a number of us, isn't there, Anna, that really feel passionately about this. And I think for me it's a sense of, well, actually, I was here today. I can look back and say to my two daughters and my grandson, I was here. That's the passion, to say, actually, I was here and took a stand for freedom. You know, as we keep saying, for our children. For our freedom.
Oh yeah, when my child, who's born in 2009, tries to buy a chocolate bar in 2040, and he's not allowed to because it might impact his health to access particular medical services, it's weird, isn't it? I kind of feel that we can see the future in a way that other people can't.
Yes, I think there is.
Or are we just being paranoid and cynical? Is everything going to be over soon?
Maybe we've done too much research, Anna, and that's perhaps what they don't want us to do the research. And it's back to, isn't it, Anna, to the role of the media, the mainstream media, and what people see and what they don't see. And I think it's a sense today, it's just a reflection of this is what people have been reading, this is what they've been watching on BBC, ITV, and they perhaps haven't done the sort of research that we've done, and we've dug a bit deeper.
It's important about turning off the money. So my Patreon account I lost for sharing information that Patreon didn't like. GoFundMe has turned off the money for the Canada truckers. So it's already happening in some respects, that if you do something that the people who pay your wages don't like, I think that was very important when you mentioned that, Dave.
Yes, and we can see it in Canada, can't we now? We've now had the truckers twice have had their GoFundMe equivalents taken away from them. So we can already see what's happening, but I don't think yet it's come into the psyche of the general population, particularly here in Cardiff, with predominantly the Welsh fans and of course the Scottish fans who have travelled down. So it's something I think is really, really important to bear in mind.
I think this doesn't mean anything to people here in Cardiff because they still get an income, they still get a wage, their lives haven't been massively impacted. But if someone turned off the money because of the health choices they made, it would have been a better reception. I just think this is an important moment in history for us to record.
Well, we have backseat passports in Wales.
They're going.
I know they go in, but we have got them.
Would you like them to stay?
Not really. They're a pain in the arse. No, because if you're going out, you don't want to be carrying paper and things like that. So
a lot of people don't have a mobile. My dad doesn't know how to use a mobile.
My dad has a paper copy because he got a mobile, but obviously he's the same. He's like 71. But he got a paper copy, but you don't really go to pubs and things like that. You're not pubs, you know, clubs and things like that. So he doesn't really need one.
You need one for the cinema, theatre.
You don't go to the cinema. You only go to a pub, and that's only like now and again.
What about going on holiday?
Yeah, he's going to Spain now with me.
So is he double vaccinated? He's getting the booster?
My dad's got all three.
And do you feel like we've moved away from this